Welcome back to Pastry Maestra. I'm Tereza and today I'm making nougat. Nougat in English, Torrone in Italian, turrón in Spanish, Nougat de Montélimar in French, al Nougat Hulavi Baida in Arabic. My god, just imagine how popular is the sweet that I'm gonna teach you how to make today when all those great civilizations have a special name for it. Amazing, isn't it? Now, there's a wonderful and amazingly interesting story behind nougat, so make sure to read the whole post about it on my site. The link is in the description below. But now, let's focus on the dessert that we are going to make today. It is widely known as white nougat, although I'm very reluctant to accept this term simply because for me, this is the nougat, one and only. Now, let me explain. You will find the recipes for so-called brown nougat and also German nougat all over the web. And don't get me wrong, these sweets are great, but quite different from the one we are going to make today. Again, all about this you can learn from the post on my site, so I won't get into details right now. There, I know that this all sounds a bit confusing, so let's clear our heads and get to work. Let's make nougat. As usual, the recipe is on my site and the link is down below. The first thing I'm gonna do is prepare a baking pan approximately 20 by 20 centimeters, which is 8 by 8 inches in size. I'm gonna line it with parchment paper and then I'll put edible wafer paper inside so it covers the bottom of the pan. If your wafer paper is too small, just add another piece of it so the whole bottom of the pan is covered. I've prepared another identical piece of paper that I'm gonna put on top of my nougat, but for now I'll set it aside. I'm gonna put toasted almonds, chopped dried apricots and dried cranberries into a pan and leave them in the oven at 120 degrees centigrade, which is 250 degrees Fahrenheit, until needed. I will put sugar and water into a saucepan, put the lid on and set it aside until needed. I'll put egg whites into a bowl of a stand mixer fitted with whisk attachment. Then I'm gonna pour honey into a saucepan and insert the probe of my digital candy thermometer into the honey. I'm gonna cook honey until it reaches 110 degrees centigrade, which is 230 degrees Fahrenheit. At that point, I'll start whisking the egg whites on high speed. My honey reached 120 degrees centigrade, which is 250 degrees Fahrenheit. The egg whites are whipped to soft peaks and I will pour the honey into the egg whites without turning off the mixer. Now I'll start cooking sugar syrup that I've prepared earlier. I'm gonna continue whisking the egg whites as I cook the syrup. When my syrup starts boiling, I'm gonna remove the lid, add the glucose and insert the probe of my digital candy thermometer into the syrup. When my syrup reaches 155 degrees centigrade, which is 310 degrees Fahrenheit, I'll pour it into the mixture of egg whites and honey without turning off the mixer. Be very careful, the syrup is very hot and pretty dense at this point, so make sure you don't pour it onto a whisk while it's working. I will continue mixing egg whites for another couple of minutes. Now I'm gonna add vanilla powder. I'm gonna gradually add melted cocoa butter and continue whisking for another minute. Now I will add hot nuts and dried fruits into the hot nougat and mix them in with my wooden spoon. I'm gonna transfer my nougat into prepared pan. Finally, I'll cover it with prepared wafer paper and press it with my palm lightly to distribute it evenly inside the pan. I'm gonna leave the nougat to cool completely at room temperature. My nougat is cooled. First, I will trim the edge with oiled knife. I will cut my nougat slab into bars using the same large oiled knife I've already used when I was trimming the edge. There, my lovely nougat is done and ready to make any sweetness enthusiast extremely happy. Sweetness is happiness. Enjoy!
Oh baby, you are so sweet, so delicious and yummy, so good to eat. I wanna lick you, feel your sweetness on my lips. Forever and ever, you'll stay on my hips.
I'm Teresa. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you liked it. If you want to stay in touch, follow me on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, and of course visit my site where you can find elaborate posts with lots of pictures, additional information and recipes that follow my every video. Also, on my site you can download my free 365 pages ebook The Pastry Chef and maybe buy me a macaron if you think that I've earned it. Now, before you go, please hit the like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel. That really helps a lot. Finally, and this is the most important thing, don't forget to create sweetness every day, because sweetness is happiness. See you in my next video. Bye!